Hello, and welcome to the next episode of the SubParBro's MCU Rewatch. Today, we're going to be talking about Captain America Civil War. Keane, you want to kick us off with your thoughts?
Tom, I do. I really do today because Captain America Civil War is a film that I really thought I liked as a kid.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's a lot more dislikes than likes to this movie. The first scene was good. It kind of reuses what they did in Winter Soldier with like a mission with Cap and Natasha, and then we had Romanoff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the reuse of it. I think that was a good reuse for Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier stands out as a great movie, and then this is a movie. We obviously get to see Scarlet Witch's powers in this. Love that, because she just has great powers, and I think she isn't used as well, because she's gonna get lobotomized in 3 movies over from this. Sorry, I've got a comment about her being lobotomized in my notes as I said that. Vision, that's another great thing, with him, instead of knocking, he just walks through the wall, and he's clearly getting used to what human life is about. And we still clearly have the relationship brewing between those two. Hey, the guy from Incredible Hulk is finally back.
Whoa.
I know, I kind of like the fact that he was just the same actor. He sucks as a person in the film. Just
change his character too much then.
Yeah. They I kind of just like seeing the fact that we got something from Incredible Hulk back in. So that's kind of my whole on that. Steve is sexy in the helicopter scene. And he's when he's gripping the railing, it shows all his muscle. We get to see Spider-Man. First MCU Spider-Man.
Whoa.
I like the take.
Everyone else in the world is probably more excited about that than me, but
yeah, I like the take they do with Spider-Man in Civil War. Because I like that we see off the bat that it is going to be a different Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, I will always say it was needed change. Because I think there would have been a lot of complaint if Spider-Man went from Toby to Andrew to another Toby and Andrew.
Yeah.
So, okay, we are 5 movies into Spider-Man now. I don't know how, how Toby only got 3, Andrew only got 2. We are seeing more of this guy than the other 2. So I could see the fatigue of Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the first movies. Obviously, the actual, I said roundup scene was awesome. I like seeing I know a guy, and it's it's just each of them calling who they know. Fucking Ant-Man's in this. Paul Rudd, we did last week's Ant-Man episode. I fucking love Ant-Man. He's just the GOAT.
Yeah.
I enjoyed seeing the inexperience of Spider-Man's fight, and his fight IQ just isn't there. But he's clearly smart. They clearly do that in Smart. Yeah. Anyway, General Ross is the clear villain in this, because it's anti-American.
Whoa.
The Accords anti. See, this is the thing, right? How my mindset for these movies has been, Tom, is America, because they are literally all set in America. Apart from a brief scene in this film where Peggy dies. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. In a couple movies' time, Steve's going to be like, fuck Sharon Carter. Actually, never mind. Sharon Carter's the niece, isn't she?
Yeah.
So maybe not.
I mean, he probably did that too between this and Endgame, but then he went back and...
He probably did, yeah. And then he went back to fuck her on. Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyway, these are more like dislikes. It had a good end. It did. I liked T'Challa's switch up where he stopped Zemo from killing himself. Zemo didn't need that level of security. They gave Zemo the level of security that Bucky Barnes had. Anyway, so that's all my likes in the film. Tom?
Okay. I think as Keane said, like as a kid, I really enjoyed this, but as watching it like yesterday, I really found myself getting like more and more annoyed as I was watching through it. But I still think stuff in it. Like I feel like the overall plot of Zemo trying to break up the Avengers is done well, and I like that you get kind of the continuation from the Winter Soldier with Hydra killing Stark's parents. Whoa. And you also get like the plot point of like there being multiple Winter Soldiers. I think that's like really cool. But it just, at least to me, and we'll get to it, but this movie completely falls down on the Accords. But as I said, we'll get to it. I think like the first scene where we see them like defrosting Bucky in Siberia, I think that's really cool. Like, see him defrosting him and then like brainwashing him to send on the mission that we keep seeing like more and more of through the movie. Then we get the scene in Lagos, which I think all the fight scenes are really there good. I like that there's like training Wanda to be the next Avenger, and you get the fight between Cap and Crossbones. As you said, I like that we get the use of Wanda's power in this. Like, I feel like it's used more in this, and it's used, I think, in better ways than it probably was in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like smaller moments I like in this as well. Like when they get back to the compound and Ross is there and he's explaining like the Accords, Cap can see like Wanda's obviously getting distressed over the Sokovia like videos he's showing and the Lagos videos he's showing. He's like tells Ross to turn them off. I like you get like Nat coming to Peggy's funeral to comfort Steve, even though they're on opposite sides. I like that you get Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther in this. I think he really nails the character in this. Like, Black Panther, probably not one of my favourite superheroes, but I really enjoy him in this. Like, I think he's such a good character. And also, like, I feel like there's quite a few in this movie. I think I counted 5 off the top of my head. But I feel like the Russo brothers, they nail kind of like extended fight scenes. Like, as I said, I think there's 5 fight scenes in this movie, and just none of them really feel the same. Okay. Like, you have the one in Lagos, you have the one in Bucharest, which has you have the apartment, then you have the roof, then you have the chase, then you have the airport battle, you have the final fight in Siberia. I feel like none of them feel the same, and it's just really, I feel like they just nail like the kind of uniqueness of each fight and make it different from the others enough to like not feel the same.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, we get the Black Panther's entrance in the fight in Bucharest, which is great. We get, I think the chase scene is great where Bucky takes the bike. Then we get the second fight scene where Bucky escapes from, I think, Berlin custody, and we get like Tony's watch turning into a Iron Man glove, which I think is a really cool like feature. I like that we continue kind of the set up from Age of Ultron with Hawkeye and Wanda, where he comes to Wanda after like Cap recruits him for the mission, and him also outwitting Vision. If only Hawkeye came for Wanda after Endgame, but never mind. As I also just said, it's a Cap making out with his future wife's niece in front of his 2 buddies.
And they give him a thumbs up about it. They're like, yeah, dude, nice one.
I then also had a note here. Did they all just strip in this random parking lot before the fight to put their costumes on? Like, what the hell?
They do, Tom. I had a camera there.
Like, where's Wanda getting changed and all that? She's like... There's 5 other guys there.
I mean the van. I'd assume the van. I was going to mention Ant-Man. See if everything was bigger, real. Everything was bigger. Ooh.
And then we get to the airport fight, which is, I think, one of the best scenes in the movie. Like, Ant-Man's intro is really good. You get, you get Spider-Man's intro, Spider-Man and Cap's fight later, where Cap does, like, you get kind of that thing where Cap's like, "Oh, where you from?" And that you get. I like the I'll just looking at my notes here. I like Ant-Man in this fight because I got Ant-Man on Cap shield, Ant-Man on when Ant-Man's on like Hawkeye's arrow, which I think is an thingy from the comic, from a comic cover. Then when he turns into Giant Man, like I think that's really good.
Yes.
I like when Black Panther captures Hawkeye's arrows, and I think it's paid back to in Endgame, where he's like, "We haven't met yet, I'm Clint," and then he's like, "Clint, give me the glove or whatever."
Yeah.
And I like the way that the Spider-Man side defeat Giant Man using like the logic of kind of the AT-ATs. But I hate that. But I genuinely despise in my soul the way he goes, "Hey, anyone seen that really old movie?" Just that entire thing I despise in my soul.
It feels like it contradicts the later Spider-Man movies a little bit. Like, I think Spider-Man knows what the AT-AT is, right?
Yeah. And then we get from the helicopter, which again, love that suit up. I think that's Mark 46. I want to say.
Oh shit!
I'm not actually. I know Age of Ultron ended on 45, and I think the whole Siberia fight scene is really good with like Bucky using Cap's shield and throwing it between each other. Iron Man using the Unibeam to like chop up Bucky's arm. The scene from like the Civil War comic with Cap's repulsors on Iron Man's repulsors on Cap's shield. Then Iron Man analyzing the fight and Captain America just going like straight into Iron Man's arc reactor with the shield. I think that's really good.
Mark 46.
Yeah, cool. I got it right. Yes. And I also like that we get the ending of Cap being like, "Despite everything, if you still need me, like, here's a way you can get in contact with me." And we get him breaking out his homies from the raft because they were all really ride or die for him in this, which, let's face it, if Captain America asks you to do something, he's probably on the right side of things.
Yeah. Also, something that confused me about that, right? Does he just save Sam?
No, he breaks all of them out, and this is actually one of the things I had in my dislike. Is I feel like we get like the big period of time between this and Endgame, not Endgame, Infinity War, where I feel like it's just not really explained like what happens. Like Black Widow somehow just goes from Stark side to Cap side. Hawkeye and Ant-Man, despite Steve apparently breaking them out, are suddenly on house arrest.
Yeah, so that was my thought process. Like,
Wanda and Vision suddenly just apparently just leave to go live a life in Scotland or something.
Yeah, just makes no sense.
I feel like that very briefly, I think, did it with the Black Widow movie, but I think that kind of time period needs to just be expanded on, or at least like have 2016 to 2018. And like we see Ant-Man again before that, like in Ant-Man and the Wasp, like we get that he's on house arrest.
Yeah,
and it's like, where in like that process did you go from Cap breaking him out to being on house arrest?
Oh yeah, because Ant-Man and the Wasp was after Endgame, but after Infinity War, but before Infinity War, like came out after.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, that was all my likes for this movie.
Okay. Yes, we definitely have some problems with it, but I'm gonna go with my dislikes because there are many. Obviously, a future dislike is that they're about to lobotomize Wanda into being a crazy woman. Yeah, and in this, they make her so good, and it kind of annoys me for the future. Like, they get to see her like, ooh, and it's good. I like how they show her with a conscience. whether like post Endgame Scarlet Witch wouldn't have blinked at killing 13 guys with that bomb.
Yeah.
Public outreach for 13 people, really? You know, acting like Hydra didn't kill more. Acting like what else would you have done with it?
Yeah.
Frank Grillo is blowing himself up. You kill everyone on the ground. Or you throw it up in the sky. Yes. Why not just throw it literally up in the sky? She goes to the button. That's on her. But what do you want? Do you want public outreach because Frank Grillo blows up and kills 60 people on the ground?
Yeah.
And I get it's for like, that they need to bring in T'Challa. I get that. Another dislike is that the Accords aren't actually bad. They are just so anti-American that it pisses me off. General Ross is like, talking all this shit. This is, they're so anti-American. What, you want to give up your freedom?
Yeah.
Freedom. That's America's whole thing. Your motto is freedom, and you think, no, guys, we don't want you to save the world. We want to control when you can save the world. Thanos doesn't give my other dislike is Thanos does not give a shit about the Avengers. Doesn't even know about them yet, probably. Obviously, they don't know about him either. But what, you just want to throw a couple in prison and forced to be retired? It's bullshit. Not like no one on Cap's side would retire.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Because no offense, all the blame is on Tony. I get he should only be blaming himself. I think he uses the word "we" in a sentence in that movie, and I'm like, no, you built Ultron. You didn't, don't get me wrong about the Age of Ultron, because the people that die in that movie on the ground, it's kind of on them. You're outraged because you didn't move fast enough. Okay, the woman at the start has a valid. I get why she's angry. I'm not gonna be like, I'm annoyed that she's angry, like she's upset.
Yeah.
But also, I don't even think Tony's at fault. Like, I'm very on the belief that you don't blame the parents. You don't All I'm saying, I think everyone that's posted Rule 34 of anything had more of an equivalent degree of whatever the fuck you'd call it, blame for Ultron than Tony alone. He probably saw some fucking disgusting, depraved Rule 34 and thought, that's it, the war's gotta go. So I don't think he's the only one to blame. And that's what pissed me off. The Accords are anti-American. It's Vision as well. Bro's 1 year old. Shut up. Acting like... And you know what? They do clarify that he doesn't know what's in the... they do have that whole segment about him not knowing what the stone actually is.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Bro, you're 1 year old. Stop trying to bang Wanda. You can't for the next 17 years.
Oh god. The kissing scene was just weird. It was wrong. I literally have wrong. What the fuck? Why did you kiss her? 1, why did you kiss her in front of your 2 mates? 2, why did you kiss her? And then 10 years later think, oh no, 10?
8.
8 years later think, you know what, guys? I'm gonna go bag her on.
She kind of kisses well. I wonder how her aunt kisses.
He knows. Steve knows, if anything. Vision just takes L's in this movie. And, okay, he's like, Vision, turn this guy into a glider. Fair enough, right? So you just expected the man you're beating the shit out of to just say, "Ace is open, guys, keep hitting." He was clearly going to dodge.
Yeah.
Also, someone should have caught that guy. You tell me Vision isn't fast enough I don't know, in the Lego games, he's pretty fast. They get up to pretty good speeds in the games. You tell me no one was able to catch him?
Distracted Keane. That is heavily in air quotes for those not watching, not the two of us on this, but he became distracted. Sure he did.
And then my last like is my last like is fuck General Ross, real villain, suck ass.
Suck ass.
Yeah, just can't stand the guy.
Bro.
Tom, that is all my dislikes. If you are wanting to tell me what you dislike about the movie,
there's quite a lot. Like, firstly, I feel like more people would have died if didn't throw the bomb or Rumlow, whatever the fuck. Like, A, more people have died, but B, you would have killed both Wanda and Captain America. Like,
also, like, sorry, can I just mention that? Like, I don't think I mentioned it. They are trying to steal a virus.
Yeah.
Let that out, right? Yeah, so go on.
My second is like, how does Zemo know about the Winter Soldier book? And it's like, well, S.H.I.E.L.D. released Hydra's files onto the internet or whatever. How does that equate to having a book? Having a book and him knowing, A, where to find the book, but B, knowing where the guy who has the book lives. And then he goes to the house and he straps him upside down on a sink and fills the sink with water, but the sink's overflowing before the water's going to even reach his nose or mouth. So how the hell is he going to drown?
Yeah. Makes no sense.
I also said that Peggy's funeral happened incredibly quickly. Like they're arguing about the cause, and they're like, it's going to be ratified in 2 days. And then he gets the text that Peggy's dead. And then we literally see him going to Peggy's funeral. And then the Vienna stuff happening after that. So Peggy's funeral happened the day after she died.
Jesus.
What the hell? Then you have the Vienna bombing. And the people on the news are like, oh, it's Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. How does the public know any of this? And also, shouldn't that be immediately ruled out by the fact Bucky would be 100+ years old here?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's Bucky Barnes, the guy from World War II.
And also, quick question. How do Wakanda not know about the face tech?
Yeah.
In S.H.I.E.L.D.? Aren't they meant to be like the most like advanced civilization?
Yeah.
They don't think face tech exists. Alright, go on.
And then I also said, how is Cap in Vienna so quickly? They hear about the bombing, they're there the next hour. Like, an hour later. Surely he can't get to Vienna from London that quickly.
Your vision need a lift.
And then I added a couple notes of, shut the fuck up, Rhodey. When he's like, congratulations, Cap, you're a criminal. Like, shut the fuck up. He was pissing me off in this.
To be fair, Rhodey always, like, at least Rhodey, like, kind of has stuck with it. He's always kind of been, like, a hard ass.
Yeah.
With his, like, morals.
And then, as a comic guy, I love Spider-Man, and I love Spider-Man quipping. In the comics, like, I feel it's such a unique thing, and when it's done, but I just can't stand it in this. When it's like, oh, you have a metal arm? And I think I sent you my note of this, which is Mr. Stark this, Mr. Stark that. How about you, Mr. Shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
And then the fight in the airport with Black Panther and Winter Soldier is like, Winter Soldier's like, I didn't kill your dad. He's like, why did you run? Because they fucking sent the authorities after him to shoot on sight.
Yeah. Which he knows because Steve has told him that it's on site.
Yeah. And then, as much as I like it, and I did say I feel like the airport fight feels very like movie-ified. Like I feel like it's very green screeny and very much like, oh, one-on-one fight rather than just big ooh. Which like I feel like if it was like something like that, it wouldn't just be like, oh, one-on-one between these two guys and then another one-on-one between these two guys or whatever. And it feels just very like empty space, and I feel like very obvious green screen on it.
Yeah.
We said that how did this happen? I became distracted. No, and I was like, no, Sam dodged Vision's blast. And like, what did you expect Sam to do? Not fucking dodge Vision's blast. Also, what was Vision distracted by? Like, how is him being distracted causing Rhodey to smash? It's not like Vision was like sat like waving his beam up and down while trying to glance at Wanda's cleavage. Then I feel like Zemo killing the other Winter Soldiers is such a wasted opportunity.
A little bit, yeah.
I feel like they could tell such like a good and maybe better story if they did like the ending being like Iron Man, Cap, and Bucky teaming up against like 5 other Winter Soldiers.
Yeah.
I also said that I wish we got Tony and Bucky interacting post this, which I don't think we do.
We don't get a lot of them, do we? I was thinking about
No.
this. Do we get much Spider-Man, Captain America?
No.
Great, great duo, great chemistry that could be had.
And I also said that they have the thing with like they're climbing out of the bunker or whatever, which I think is like from the main room of like the Siberian bunker, they're like climbing out of it, but then they fall down, and instead of just falling into the main room, they fall into this weird side room where they end the fight. I'm like, what's like the location or whatever of this fight happening? Like, sure, they should have just fell into the main room or whatever.
Yeah.
But those are all my main dislikes. I do have a chords rant, but I want to let you see if you have anything else to say.
No, rant away, bro.
Okay. Firstly, how long was this woman waiting at the elevator to tell Tony Stark he killed her son?
Yeah.
And secondly, apparently Tony Stark, genius futurist, has just tunnel vision because he can only apparently care about the people he's killed when some random woman shows up and shows him a photo of it. Apparently he can only like perceive what's right in front of him with a woman going like, here's my kid you killed. But it's also like, do the public even know Tony created Ultron, or do they just think Tony like, or do they just think like he died in just a random confrontation between the Avengers and a villain? Because if they don't know Tony invented Ultron, then why is she blaming him for?
Yeah.
And she was like, you fight for yourself. It's like, no, they fucking don't. And I noted it down when like Ross was showing the list of like disasters that caused the Accords to come or whatever. 74 people died in New York City. 23 died in DC in Winter Soldier. 177 in Sokovia, and only 26 in Lagos. I feel like those numbers are good, all things considered. Like,
only 74 in New York.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great statistic.
Yeah. Do you want them to just not save anyone? They can't physically save everyone. I feel like those are acceptable losses.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, obviously you want to save everyone, but
and like
74.
The whole thing with the Accords is they need UN approval for them to go be Avengers, which again is stupid because it restricts their freedom. which again, what America's all about. But I feel like by the time you would gather the entire UN and let them discuss whether the Avengers were allowed to deal with a threat, like imagine the Accords were in place before Sokovia. The UN had to gather, then discuss about the Avengers to deal with Sokovia. Ultron would have already dropped it out of the sky by then. Like, and like Black Panther literally says in this, like, 2 people can get more done in a ring than 100. No shit.
But also, like, imagine they had to get like UN approval for New York.
Yeah.
They would have sent the nuke.
And it's like, and then back to like the Tony Stark being sad about this kid or whatever. He doesn't seem too shook up about it when they're talking about the Accords. He's like, oh, we dropped a building on him when we were kicking ass in Sokovia. Like, you don't seem too shook up about it.
Also, they were not kicking ass. Quicksilver died.
Yeah. And I'm like, Black Widow, the Russian spy operative, would be pro-registration. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. And then Rossi's like, do you know where Banner and Thor is? If I misplace, like, nukes or whatever, there will be consequences. I feel like that's apples and oranges. Like, you're comparing nukes to just people with lives, like, outside of the Avengers.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like, Thor's not even from this planet. What do you want them to do? Just stick an dimensional tracker on him?
Jeez.
And I also had a couple snarky comments, which is, how can Tony and Nat fight the Winter Soldier? Did they have permission from the UN? And did the UN give Tony permission to recruit a 16-year-old? But I feel like the pro-Accord side is also just so self-righteous. Like, they're like, the entire time it's like, you're the bad guy, Cap, or whatever. Like, no, he's not. He wants freedom. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Like, as I said, that's the whole founding thing about America. You're restricting individuals' freedom because of that. Like,
and Cap's identity is consistently been rebellion.
ew.
When has he not? When has he sided with the big guy? That's his whole character. Because of obviously these weeks being a bit jumbled, do you want to put it in the tier list in the end of this episode?
Yeah.
Low C.
Low C.
Or do you think it's above Hulk?
Let me get my tier list open.
I think how we look at this one is it just infuriates us a bit too much for it to be like.
Yeah, but I feel like A, I feel like there are still good qualities to it, but B, also, like, Iron Man's in top because of impact. Like, this sets the stage for why Thanos is able to beat them in Infinity War, which then sets the stage for Endgame. It's like sets up Ant-Man and the Wasp with the fact Paul Rudd's arrested.
Yeah, but the character's kind of written.
It sets up Black Panther with obviously Black Panther. Like, I feel like despite all my infuriations, is that annoyances, grievances, those are just the better words. I still feel like I probably put it high B tier.
I could see it at the top of B.
Because I feel like, despite, again, grievances, I didn't probably enjoy it more than Ant-Man and Iron Man 2 and Thor the Dark World, but I probably didn't enjoy it as much as Cap. But I feel like maybe because of the impact of it setting up Infinity War and stuff, maybe we move it bottom A.
Okay, so we put it at B because of the fact, like, how we like. I kind of foot with that. Bottom A is fine. I'm okay with it being bottom A.
Cool.
Yeah. Obviously, Stanley was the FedEx driver in this episode. Tony Stank.
Tony Stank.
Which Rhodey proceeds to say that's going to stick. I don't think I hear it used again.
No.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Yep.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of MCU Rewatch. If you liked it, subscribe and hit the like button.
Goodbye.